Hello guys and welcome to my chapter review for chapter 246 of Tokyo Revengers. The title for chapter 246 is, Giant Killing. In the very first page of this chapter we see Takemichi and Kakucho. Takemichi is standing in place and looking at Kakucho because Takemichi just knocked down Kakucho in the last chapter with a single punch. And Kakucho is just lying on the floor with his arms stretched out. And also Kakucho just has a blank expression on his face. And in the next page of this chapter we see that the fight has suddenly stopped because everybody was shocked to see Kakucho lying on the ground. Even the older Hitani brother Ran Hitani, Kanji Machizuku and Sanzu Haruchiyo could not believe that Kakucho could be knocked out with just one punch. Ran Hitani says, "Are you kidding me?" And Sanzu Haruchiyo just says, "That brat." And it is a bit funny to see this reaction from Sanzu, because in the last chapter Sanzu was talking so much trash, and trying to make fun of the Tokyo Manji gang, but now in this chapter he has this shocked look on his face. And from the expression we see on the face of Sanzu you can tell that Sanzu most definitely underestimated Takemichi in the last chapter. And the older Hitani brother Ran Hitani says, "But that is impossible." And so guys, in chapter 179 we learned that Ran Hitani has a lot of admiration for Kakucho because Ran Hitani said that he admired Kakucho. And Ran Hitani knows how strong of a fighter Kakucho is, so it makes sense that Kakucho getting knocked down was so surprising to Ran Hitani. Everyone says no way Takemichi punched the hell out of Kakucho. We see the reaction of Chifuyu, Pei and Pa, and also the Mizo Middle School 5 members, and all of these characters have an extremely shocked look on their face. All of their jaws have dropped because that is how surprised these guys are. And in the next panel Chifuyu talks to Takemichi. Chifuyu says, "That was so cool Takemichi." And in this panel you can tell from the look on the face of Chifuyu, that he is very proud of Takemichi, and how far Takemichi has come as a fighter. And in the next panel we get to see Senju. And Senju says, "What is all the hype about though?" And Senju also says, "It is the same guy who confronted Mikey in the Battle of the Three Deities, right? So this is to be expected of him." And in this panel we also see Inupi who has a smile on his face. And I really like this moment we got of Senju. Because from this panel you can see that Senju has a lot of confidence in Takemichi. And in the next page, we see Mitsuya and Hakai Shiba, and Mitsuya agrees with Senju. Mitsuya says you are right. This is the same guy who brought Taiju Shiba to his knees. And Hakai Shiba says that is true. And we also see Smiley and Angry in this page. Angry says that Takemichi was the last one standing at the end of the Tenjuku conflict. And we see the 3rd Division Captain and Vice Captain Pei and Pa. Pa says, "Well, we cannot lose to him, right guys?" And Pei says, "Yeah." And in the next page, we see Chifuyu punching a member of Kanto Manji gang. And Chifuyu says, "Alright then everyone. Let's follow our president." Smiley and Angry are also punching members of the Kanto Manji gang. And Smiley asks Angry to not pull his punches. And Angry responds and says, "You got it brother. Just for today, I will throw my punches." And we also see Mitsuya and Hakai fighting against the Kanto Manji gang, and Mitsuya tells Hakai that he has his back. And Hakai says that there can be nobody behind Mitsuya besides him. Anyway guys, moving on to the next page, we see Pa and Pei. And Pa is going on a rampage, and Pa is taking down a whole group of people all by himself. As Pa is charging at his enemies he yells at them telling them to die. And we see some members of Kanto Manji gang reacting to Pa, and they are saying, "What the? That is some insane strength." And Pei says, "Pa is like a gorilla, okay? He is a gorilla with brains." And Pa responds and he says, "That is a little too much you idiot." On to the next page, we get to see these epic panels of Inupi. As Inupi is charging at a group of Kanto Manji gang members, he is wearing his white sash tied to his uniform. While he is charging at the Kanto Manji gang members, Inupi says that they are trash. And in this next panel it shows Inupi just casually standing over a pile of Kanto Manji gang members that he defeated. And Inupi just says, "This is too easy." And I must say that in this panel the character design of Inupi is looking amazing. Anyway guys, in the next 2 pages of this chapter are of Kawagari Senju. And in these panels Senju is also fighting the Kanto Manji gang. And while Senju is defeating all her opponents one by one, she is also counting out loud how many people she has defeated so far. And in the very first panel she is at 12, which means she has defeated 12 people already. And also we see Senju landing an epic uppercut kick with her left foot. And in both of these panels both members of the Kanto Manji gang are defeated in only one hit from Senju. And Senju also says, Kawagari Senju, taking out 100 people all by herself. And while Senju is saying this she has a smile on her face. And I must say that this smile is almost identical to the smile of Sanzu Haruchiyo back when he was a kid. And these two siblings do look very similar in these panels. Anyway guys, on to the next page of this chapter we see Mikey and Kakucho. Kakucho is still lying on the floor. And Mikey squatted down and spoke to Kakucho. Mikey said, "So you are done for the day, Kakucho?" And then Mikey said, "Isn't it time that we witness the feared brawler of Tenjuku gang, seeing you beaten up like this? Do you think he died for this?" And in this line Mikey is referring to Izana Kurokawa, who is the former president of Tenjuku gang, and Izana sacrificed himself to save the life of Kakucho. So when Mikey asked Kakucho this question about the death of Izana, it brought Kakucho back to his senses. Kakucho immediately gets up and tells Mikey that he will never understand. Kakucho starts walking towards the battle, and while he is doing this Kakucho says that his body is burning up. And that he just had to cool down. And you guys, I must say that Mikey is being extremely manipulative this chapter. I say this because of the fact that Mikey brought up the death of Izana, because he knew that if he started talking about the death of Izana it would get a reaction out of Kakucho. Anyway you guys, in the next page Kakucho suddenly returned with fighting spirit, and he immediately started running at full speed. Kakucho attacked Shifuyu, Smiley and Angry until the three of them were thrown far away. And Kakucho managed to knock down all three of these characters in one hit. And after knocking down Shifuyu, Smiley and Angry, Kakucho started charging at Takemichi. And Takemichi was busy fighting and Kakucho hit Takemichi with all of his strength, however Takemichi managed to take the punch and still hold his balance. And next Kakucho talks to Takemichi. Kakucho tells Takemichi that he was reminded of his childhood friend just now. Kakucho says, "I remember it now. That is the face I used to look up to when I was a kid. You are back, hero." And while Kakucho is saying this he has a big grin on his face. Takemichi stares back at Kakucho and does not say anything, but he wipes some blood off of his face. And so guys, the strength of Kakucho in this chapter is extremely impressive. The fact that he knocked down Shifuyu, Smiley and Angry all in a row and all by himself really shows that Kakucho is one of the strongest fighters in Tokyo Revengers, and it is no wonder he is known as the strongest member of Tenjuku gang. And also guys, one thing I have to say about Takemichi is that his durability has definitely increased. The fact that Takemichi was able to take a hit that knocked down Shifuyu, Smiley and Angry means that Takemichi has better durability than all three of these characters. And I also think that both Inupi and Senju are looking awesome in this chapter as well. It was really funny to me how Senju was just casually counting out loud the number of people she has defeated, and I am glad we got to see Senju fighting in this chapter. Anyway guys, that was it for the chapter review of chapter 246 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the chapter in the comments below. And like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.